Oh shit!
It's
Oh no! Now
delightful,
we're
whatever.
blocked on YouTube. Is it?
Yeah, it'll figure itself out.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Oh, there it
Chop,
goes.
chop, chop, chop,
Now
chop,
it's now somehow it caught
chop,
up.
chop. It went to space.
Mm.
Good morning.
I
I was
like
just like, hmm.
I like when you burn your mouth on some hot food, and then like the top of your roof has some like fleshy parts because you're like, oh, is that my skin searing off
Yeah.
from that hot food the other day? Oh, let me address that. Hope this heals. Hope what I
You
enjoyed
may want
hot
to
was delicious.
tilt your camera down a little. I'm missing half your beard, and then probably half your mouth roof. If it's dangling, if it's just dangling there. You know what? Every time I do it, do I stop eating? I sure don't. It's already done. The
Mm-mm.
damage is done. Just gonna keep it going.
Absolutely. It's not like, oh, I'll come back to this in 5 minutes when it cools down. Nope. Literally, the next bite is less than 10 seconds away. I'm going to figure this out.
That was always my version, I felt, of self harm. Just like, all right, DiGiorno, do your worst. I deserve it. I'm such a little bitch. I hate myself. I just,
It's
I
hot to the
deserve this.
touch. It's hot to the touch with my finger, which is calloused and has like layers of extra skin and stuff. And I'm like, eh, if I blow on it
Yeah.
once, that should resolve this issue. Nope.
Mhm. The cheese is bubbling, but I think it'll be all right.
Right.
It'll be okay.
If I know
What did
science,
you,
my skin is way more capable of taking heat than mozzarella.
um, did you just do that? Did you just sear yourself?
No, no, I think this is from yesterday, but I don't know if it was from my breakfast sandwich in the morning or if it was from I had a Quest. We basically had like a taste test. We had a small cauliflower pizza, but also a Quest pizza.
Was that
Um,
like protein? One of those
yeah,
protein things?
yeah.
Hmm.
Not bad, not bad. Listen, folks, if you want to eat substitutes of things, you can't be looking for it to taste exactly the same. And I think that's a big problem with everyone. Everyone becomes a fussy eater as soon as you suggest an alternative to something that they enjoy that's not that great for them. Like, it's like, oh, it doesn't taste the same as Domino's. Yeah, no fucking shit. Like, it's not gonna. Like,
That's the
everyone wants
problem.
everyone wants everything to taste exact same. The only thing that's drastically different that probably shouldn't have the same name is turkey bacon. Cuz it's like I like turkey bacon, but not as a bacon substitute. Like it's not like you can't even tell. No, you can very tell they're not even remotely the same, but I enjoy certain turkey bacons. But these pizzas were pretty good. And I think that's probably what it was. Is I probably burnt my mouth on pizza just like I have dozens and dozens and maybe even triple digits over my lifetime. That's okay.
You know what sucks
Worth
is
it.
that like 3 seconds when you know, like I would say there's very few times that I've actually spit it back out. It's more like my first instinct is to try to find water or something to drink. So I'll just like do that thing where it's like it's not touching the roof. You can't burn me because I'm not letting you touch the roof, even though it's already been done. It's already happened. And I'm just looking for all it takes is a second, just 1 second. It was like the other day I was washing some dishes and I was using a Scrub Daddy, which
Mm,
is a new thing in my life. I'm enjoying it, Mr. Scrub Daddy. It's very effective. Before I
Scrub
was just
father.
using my fingernails in medium stream water. It was not
Wow, you mean
effective.
there's a better way?
Yeah. Um, but the thing is, with the hot water, the Scrub Daddy soaks it up and also becomes very hot with the water. And I was holding it in my hand, and I was like, "This is too hot. This is too hot." And I just kept going. I was like, "This is way too hot. Oh, it's hot. Okay, okay, okay." And I was like, "Oh, it's too late. I've already burned. It's already burned my finger, my pinky, not my pinky. I need it for tea." It's
Eh,
like,
I
um,
think this is hot, but this is gonna be okay. I think I'm gonna get through
yeah,
this. I'm not getting through this.
yeah, yeah. And I don't know
Wow.
why. I don't know what the compulsion is to just hold on and let it happen. Um, but I guess I deserve it. And you know what?
As we all
okay.
do. And we're going to do it
Oh.
again next time. Cue the music.
I've confused my priorities. Isn't it supposed to come to me? Yes, this is how it's meant to be. Every little thing flashing on a screen. Age of convenience. My daddy worked hard for this.
So wow. Did I call it or did I call it, Jeff? The John Cena heel turn heard around the world.
Wow.
Tell the people I did good. And we talked
Yeah.
about calling things a couple weeks ago in major sports. And this is a major call in a major sport that everybody cares about.
It still counts, arguably, because you can have any take in the world of wrestling and it's never technically out of the realm. So like making a good call in wrestling is actually more impressive because they don't have to abide by anything. They don't have to abide by logic, physics sometimes, like science, anything. There is no holds barred when it comes to wrestling predictions. And Matt predicted correctly that John Cena, for those of you, I'm sure everyone's familiar nowadays with the name John Cena. Well, John Cena, folks, having been involved in wrestling for just over 20 years, has never been, well, since like 2005, I think, he's never been a heel, which is a bad guy for all intents and purposes.
Yeah. People hated
bad
him.
guy. Yeah, people hated him, but the company was pushing him as being a good guy. Like, because he's always been, like, at least, if nothing else, he's always been for, like, the kids. So he's always been a good guy. And then last night, he won what's called the Elimination Chamber, giving him a shot at Cody Rhodes' WWE Championship at WrestleMania in April. And The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, came out and wanted to know if Cody Rhodes would team up with him, for lack of a better term. And then Cody Rhodes dropped on NBC, said, "Go fuck yourself, Rock." Like, and it was the most aggressive. Like, you can look it up online, folks. I will admit, the enunciation on his "go fuck yourself" is top notch. 10 out of 10 stars. Like,
I probably
it
need
is.
to capture that.
The enunciation is perfect for like dropping a bomb on TV. So the crowd goes wild, and then he shakes John Cena's hand. Johnny Good Guy. He's not going with The Rock. He's not going to be a bad guy. And John Cena kicks him in the nards. John Cena does a full-blown heel turn.
Nard kick ever, too.
It was a weird nard kick, but man.
So we were, well, it's a Sunday morning. Saturday night, we were doing a little gaming while we were watching, and then I got too cold, so I had to stop playing. But in our conversation, I did, I was kind of hoping for it. And what happened was, so folks, last night I realized my hands were cold. I was like, this is weird. My hands
It's funny.
are cold.
You know what? Hold on, though. It's funny because that's like my trigger, too, is it'll be like, are my hands cold? Like my torso doesn't get cold and stuff first. So it's like, yeah, my hands are cold.
Yeah. And then I was like,
And why
"That's
were your
weird." And
hands
I
cold?
went over to my thermostat. Yeah. And I was like, okay. Oh, it's 55 degrees in my apartment. And the heat hasn't been working all day. And now I've just discovered that. So I don't know. So I have like an old furnace. I have like one furnace in my apartment. And I guess it hadn't been running all day. Turns out the pilot light was, I don't know. I don't fucking know. So I was like, we were doing some gaming, watching the program, and I was like, I got to figure this out because it's getting colder. And I ended up, I could either call my landlord, but then if he comes up, then it turns into,
he's going to
45
sleep
minutes.
over. You guys are going to hang out.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, let's call my dad and see, because he lives 5 minutes away. He's a mechanical type guy. It was like 9 something, but I was like, he'll still be up, and then he's going over it on the phone like stuff, and I'm just like, I mean, really for me, I was like, I don't know how any of this shit works, and I'm fucking scared. And I'm like, wait. So if that's what really made me stop gaming and leave, because I wait, was there like gas filling my apartment all day if the pilot light wasn't on? I was like, do I not know this? Am I gonna die in my sleep tonight? That's what I was really concerned about because I don't know how
Okay.
this stuff works. So I
Uh-huh.
was like, hey, would I notice if there was like gas in my apartment? Should I even light anything? Am I gonna blow up? I don't know anything about anything, and that's why it's good to have a dad that does stuff like that. So if I ever have a kid, you're fucked.
Right.
You do what I do. You go to YouTube and you look for stuff and answers. That's how it works. But he was like, well, you want me to come over? I was like, no, I mean, I feel like an asshole. I don't want to impose. And he's like, oh, that's what I do. That's what Simply Repairs does. That's his business now. He calls it Simply Repairs.
It's titled.
I
Okay.
don't think he's LLC, but he's got merch. He's got a hat. He's got a shirt. And he came over with the Simply
Yes!
Repairs hat. I was like, is this your latest house call ever? And he was like, yeah, it is. And then, he
I
educated
want
me
Simply
on
Repairs merch.
Do we need to start wearing it? I think he's only got one of each, one hat and one shirt.
Where did he hold on. Where did he get the merch made?
I think my sister designed it for him, like the logo, and I don't know if he bought it or if she bought it for him, like just one of those, printery websites or whatever, something like that.
Wow. I want some.
Came
I'll pay
over.
top dollar.
I know. I did. Yeah, I didn't think about that. I mean, like his Simply Repairs is just going to turn into a t-shirt business, and he educated me on the furnace a little bit, like how to, the pilot lights. Oh yeah, you got to turn this way, and you got to push this into prime. I was like, okay. Like, well, this probably needs to get fixed. This is corroded, and I was like, sounds like not my problem. sounds like
Right.
the
I'm a
landlord's
renter.
problem. Whenever I feel like I want to have that 45-minute interaction. So that's
Now,
to happen.
were you able to simply re-engage the pilot light? Were you able to relight the pilot light and
Yeah, well, he
get
was.
heat? Well, right. Was the task be able to be performed so that you were given heat?
Yes, I've been
Good.
warmed for the evening. But then my dad's over, and then like we just sit down for a little bit. I told him my big news for the week, which I guess I have to tell you too, but I guess I have to. It's part of the show. I got it. You can't hide big news. But so then the Elimination Chamber's on the final match,
Sure.
and he sort of remembers because like I remember like 4 years ago, whenever like the night before I left Austin, my dad and I started the trip up. SummerSlam was on. So I remember like he watched that night. He watched it. So I remember he's like, "Oh, Drew McIntyre, that guy." And then he sees John Cena come out and he goes, "Wait, is this live? Or what year is this?" And I was like, "No, it is live." He's like, "Isn't that
Right.
isn't that isn't that guy?" And I was like, "Yeah, no,
Good.
it's
Good.
it's good. He's some kind of aware. Isn't he like in the movies?" I was
You're
like,
like, Hulk
"Yeah,
Hogan's
sometimes."
about to come out.
Well, then at the end is like The Rock comes out as he's leaving. And is like, "What?" He's like, "What's going on?" I was like, "Okay, I can't even begin to like." He's coming out to like I didn't even want to say it, like for instead of saying for Cody's soul, I was like, he's coming out. He's got an offer for Cody Rhodes. Like who's that's Cody Rhodes? Like yeah, it's Dusty Rhodes' son. And it's like, he's like, oh, I was like, this is I don't even have the time. I can't even.
You
begin.
can't. That's the problem, man. Getting someone into wrestling is just as hard as like being like, so this is baseball, huh? Tell me about this team. Like you're like, I don't know, man. Like if someone were to get into wrestling and be like, I'm going to become a wrestling watcher and I gotta get caught up. I don't even know how you do that. I don't know what that entails. How much research and like backstories you have to understand. Fuck it.
Yeah,
Not worth
and
it.
this is for Bob,
Let's go, on board, let's go.
who loves wrestling talk on this pod.
Does. Does.
But it was just hot. Things are hot. WrestleMania season's heating up in the whatever. This is the third year of this show. Anytime WrestleMania comes up, we care about it.
Right.
But Bob did interrupt you. Shout out to Bob, one of our
Right.
fantasy football league members, one of our travel buddies, one of the car ride variety calls you. I mean, we'll believe him. Tell the folks the absurdity of this call he makes to you.
So, folks, I get a phone call and it says Bob incoming call. Now, mind you, this is a man in his 40s calling another man in his 40s. I got to assume someone's fucking dead.
Somebody's dead. Somebody's dead. Yeah.
Yeah. This is not a text. This is a phone call. So I'm like, Bob's in jail or someone's dead. I'm like, something. So I go, what's up? And he goes, I know I'm not one to call and you're not one to get calls. He goes, so you know it's an emergency. And I go, I understand that. I don't hear hilarity in his voice. So I'm like, is this a real emergency or not? But I appreciate either way that he's starting this message off so that we're under the same understanding. He goes, I just got Wheel of Fortune with no letters. And I'm like, yeah, buddy. I'm like, let's go. I'm like, welcome to the club. I'm like, I am so proud of you. And so he's like, the puzzle came up and I said, in the nick of time. And then the guy started guessing letters and they were falling correctly. He's like, and my wife.
Was it the last one? Like the final puzzle? Was it the final puzzle, did he say? Like the...
No, I don't...
Oh.
No, I don't think so. But he's like, I started celebrating and swearing. He's like, and there were kids that aren't mine that are in the house. He's like, and they're wondering why I'm losing my mind with joy. And I'm like, that's perfect. Good. It was an awkward situation where it happened. And then that was the whole call. The call then ended. So he then texted me... He then texted me after the fact. I want to make sure that I say it correctly. He's like, Beth doesn't even appreciate my excellence. I'm thinking about divorce. So his wife, unfortunately, does not hold the same sentiment that us dorks do, and didn't understand why he was so proud of himself.
That was a life achievement. Yeah.
That's a major accomplishment. And there's two types of people right now listening to this. Or there's two people listening to this, but either way, you could either be like, I don't get it. What are we talking about? And then there's other people that are like, holy shit. There's no middle ground. You either think this is the weirdest thing to be happy about, or you're like, man, someday I can only hope to do something that rad.
Well, it's like getting a Wordle right on the first one. I don't know. I mean, it's just... I've never done it. I know people who have. I know somebody that's done it twice, and it's crazy.
I don't know if I've done it. I do the Wordle a lot, and Wordle's been very tricky lately. Kind of some bullshit lately. Not as much bullshit as Connections. The people at New York Times that run Connections can go fuck themselves. That's a pile of dog shit sometimes. But yeah, I do Wordle, Connections, and the Mini almost daily.
If I do, I might do until I retire. Do you have a starting word for Wordle?
I don't, which is...
That's probably a better strategy, right?
Yeah, I don't. I mean, you got to have a good starting word, but I don't just use the same one every time. I don't know why, but...
I'm usually I do like either steam or steel, and then... maybe proud. Maybe follow up with that just to try to eliminate some vowels.
Smash out all those vowels.
Strategy. It's a good strategy to win within the 6 guesses, but I almost never nail it on the first 2. Like someday, like I know one day when I don't use the word steam, it's gonna be steam. It could have been used already, and I already missed my shot. I don't know. Like I don't know if they reuse words. There's probably a lot of 5-letter words in the world. I know they've been doing a lot of double-letter things lately. Or throwing in a Q or an X in there.
They did fuzzy the other day. I'm like, you motherfuckers.
Yeah. U, Z's, and Y's. I mean, come on, an F. It's got to be one of those unguessed word.
That was I got it on 6. I got it on the last try, but I was not too happy because you start eliminating words and none of the letters are illuminating yellow, and I'm like, there's not even letters left. There's nothing in the English dictionary. You start getting really irrational really quick. But
well, hey, I think I might have some. Should we do a little while in the spirit? I think I realized I had some unused
untapped
Family Feud. Well, tell me if we
right.
did these before. I don't think that we did, but So this is
No,
a reverse
I
Family
won't.
Feud.
I won't tell you,
It's a
so I
game.
can seem smart.
It's a game. I know. Yeah, yeah. It's a game where I give the answers and the number of votes for it, and then Jeff has to guess what the category was. Again, based on watching Family Feud at the gym with no sound on and just trying to guess what they're trying to
what
guess.
anything's
Basically,
happening.
yeah. All right. So from the bottom up, what is the category for these answers? There are 7 answers. The number 7 answer is compass. Compass with 5. Ooh, I like it. It's getting serious over there. I can hear the paper, paper rustling.
Yeah. Compass. So that's hard because there's multiple things that are a compass. So that
True. And this is 7 out of 7.
things that point. Okay.
Number 6. Bug spray / sunscreen. 7.
Okay, that's annoying because those are two very different things.
They are.
Bug spray, compass, sunscreen. Things you use on a hike.
Man, you're in the wheelhouse. I'll tell you that.
Okay.
Toilet paper for 8.
Things you take camping.
There we go.
All right.
So
Good answer.
We got
Good
3 answers. Toilet paper, bug spray / sunscreen, and compass. There was 4 other answers. You left some meat on that bone, Jeff. Left some meat on that bone.
Yeah.
What do you think? What do you think are some of the top 4 answers? Things that you would bring
Sleeping
on a
bag.
camping trip.
Sleeping bag.
Sleeping bag number 2 with 21.
Okay. A tent.
Tent number 1. Number 1 with 36.
A cooler.
It's not on there, but you're
Okay.
in the. They put this would probably be just.
I mean, is it going to be like food?
Yeah,
I don't
food.
know. Okay.
Food / s'mores.
Oh, good. Food / s'mores. And then the 4 is what we're missing.
Yeah, well, it's 3.
Boots. No.
Almost more basic.
Walking. No, wait. Camping. Things you take camping. A lighter. I don't know.
No, that'd be good. I'm surprised nobody said that. Any way to make fire? That's not on there.
Yeah. What's
These people
on
are
there? What is
glamping.
it?
Backpack. The old backpack. The old knapsack. All right, good though. Good though. Good win. Good win.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. This one maybe a little trickier. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 answers on the board. Number 6 with 3 votes. Start a company. Start a company.
I mean, name something athletes do after they retire.
Number 5 answer, education. With 10.
Name something people do after they graduate high school.
Number 4 answer, cars with 19.
What?
So start
Cars
a company
and start a company and education.
and cars.
What? Name something expensive. I don't know.
You're in the
good.
thing. Pay off debts with 20.
Name something you Pay off debts. Name something you do if you win the lottery.
Hey, Jeff.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
All right.
All right. Name things you spend lottery winnings on.
That's pretty good.
So I think there was two more. Two more. That was good. That was good because I always thought when you had the retired athlete thing, you could veer away from that completely. From somebody who has a bunch of money thing.
All right.
2 for 2. What are the top 2 answers? Spending lottery winnings.
Buy a house.
Number 1 it says mansions, but yeah, I know it's got to be a mansion.
Go on vacation.
That's right. That is right. Wow, just keep playing it. Family Feud all day. We're gonna get copyrighted. You're so.
I haven't lost my steps. Some argue that I've gotten better since we last played.
Yeah, you've been practicing in your free time.
I have. I've been guilty as charged. I did not know these answers, but I've been practicing.
One more. I think this one's pretty easy. I'm predicting a sweep. I'm predicting a sweep. 5 answers on the board. Number 5, snow cone / ice cream with 14.
Name something you eat in the summer.
Popcorn / kettle corn with 15.
Why does it have to
They're
be
different.
popcorn
They're different.
/ kettle corn? They're not, because kettle corn is a form of popcorn. That's
I
what's
like that
bothering
somebody is on the show. Like if they didn't say kettle corn and someone already said popcorn, they're like kettle corn. Is that different? Well, then Steve has to look over.
Can you be
even though he
more
knows.
vague? Popcorn or kettle corn? Something you eat for a snack.
No.
Okay.
Funnel cake 22. I've got snow cone.
okay.
Corn funnel cake.
Something you eat at a carnival.
Name a food you might eat at a carnival. Wow.
Not
Suck
even
on it,
fair.
Bob. Suck
I didn't
that,
even go
Bob.
fair. I went carnival.
You did. That's the
Who even calls anything a carnival anymore?
What are the top 2 answers?
Ooh, that's a good question. What would the top 2 be? That's really tough. Cotton candy,
The number 1 answer, cotton candy.
and then I'm thinking something more savory. A hot dog?
They're eating the dogs.
Nice. Wow.
Also
2 for
corn
2
dog.
on the.
Corn dog, but yeah, I'm not gonna.
Okay.
Yeah, but yeah.
See, that's. Hold on.
Would they give credit for
See?
hot dog
See?
and corn dog on
But,
the
like,
show?
Well, they fucking should if they're gonna do popcorn kettle corn.
Yeah, they should. I agree.
So my problem is we think that everyone eats corn dogs at fairs. If you go to the goddamn New York State Fair, how many people are you actually seeing eating corn dogs? I feel like corn dogs, like Big Corn Dog, got into movies and TV shows back in like the 70s, 80s, and 90s. Big Corn Dog paid a lot of money to get into those, to act like we should be eating those foods at fairs, but no one's doing it. Who's actively eating corn dogs? How often do you see corn dogs actually consumed by the public? You don't.
No, they're really a frozen food good. You get 40 in a box in the frozen section, and then you have them at
Right.
home whenever you feel bad about yourself and want to burn your mouth and also your butthole. It's like one of those things. It's combo. It's a combo package. You just hate your digestive tract. You want to put it through the paces. It's your version of
And
self-harm.
How come out of all of the ways people make cornbread, how come no one makes hot dog cornbread? Cornbread with a little hot dog in it, hot dog pieces in it,
Chop the hot dogs in there. Yeah.
a hot dog bowl.
Dog bowl.
So, if corn dogs are so fucking great, I've never had anyone be like, "Hey guys, I made some corn muffins." And there's little chopped up hot dogs in it, like we all love. It's like a corn dog without the stick. No one makes that shit.
It's not a bad idea to put like maybe like a kielbasa, some jalapeno kielbasa in it. That would be good.
Yo.
Cornbread.
Cornbread with jalapeno in it is really good. Jalapeno cornbread is legit. I don't understand the science behind it. I'm not a big cornbread guy. Never was. Because oftentimes I think 90% of cornbread that I try is too dry. That's all. I like the flavor. It's just a seemingly very dry food. But jalapeno in cornbread is awesome. And it's a weird combo.
There's been a new development in the Wegmans sub shop lately. They have some of these new subs, like hot subs, like a I don't know, whatever, like a steak dipper thing for queso. But the key ingredient they've added to the sub shop bar now is serrano peppers, fresh serrano peppers. And now I'm getting them on just regular subs. Very good. Recommend it. I am a company man, but just trying to pump up those numbers. Really need those sales. I don't even care about numbers anymore. It's not what I do. I'm a people person. I work with the people.
I work
good
with the
at
people,
working
so
with people.
HR doesn't have to.
Yeah. Serrano peppers, very good. Just a little sweat. Just want a little sweat while I'm eating lunch.
Ooh, I like it though. I like peppers in most things now. Like if you tell me like, oh, do you like peppers in this? I'm like, I've never had peppers in that, but I'm absolutely 100% willing to try it.
Probably do like it. Yeah.
I wanna share something with you, a little experience that I had this week, and I wanna get your take on it because it's something that like drove me insane, and of course I was in public, and I couldn't talk about it with anyone, and it's so minor that of course I forgot by the time I got home, and I'm just remembering it now, so I haven't even talked about it with Caitlin or anything. So I went to the dentist's office on Friday this week, and was there 8 a.m. It's I check in, I sit down. A guy comes in right behind me, goes in, checks in, sits down, and this is a big waiting room. There are two of us. He doesn't sit near me, if that's what you're wondering, if that's what I'm going to complain about. I would have, but I didn't. So
right next to you.
the person comes, there's about 30 seats in this waiting room, and it's just him and I, 8 a.m. So the dental hygienist, or whatever her position is, comes out, opens up the door, does the old doctor's office of like, Jonathan? I go, mm-mm. I shake my head no. I give her the eye contact, and I go, I'm definitely not Jonathan.
Not that
So
bad.
I then look over to my right at presumably fucking Jonathan, and Jonathan is sitting watching his phone with both earbuds in. Now, sir, you are in a waiting room.
Stop! Please let me go! Please let me go first! I'm doing something!
So she gives another Jonathan nothing. And I'm like, fuck my life. I'm about to throw something at this guy because I feel so bad for her and I'm just so angry at him already. Like, so then all of a sudden he just like scrouched down and he like looks up from his phone. He's like, he goes, huh? Like looks at her as if she might be talking to him. She's like, Jonathan. He goes like, he almost, I swear, he almost signals like, I can't hear you. But then he realizes, no, I know why I can't hear her. I have 2 earbuds in. So he takes one out and he's like, Jonathan, is that what you said? Yeah, I'm Jonathan. And then like start like go. And I'm just like, you mother. So I'm like, so I start assessing everything I know about this. And I'm like, you're in a waiting room. Dude, you've been waiting for like 2 to 3 minutes, 4 minutes max. Don't start getting in deep into something like that you need to be watching. You can scroll, you can check like a score or something, but like it's 8 a.m. There's not a waiting room of 20 people. It's me and you. You're gonna be called soon. It's a pretty big office. It's
Probably.
the
Was your
beginning of the
appointment
day
at 8 a.m.? Like,
Yeah.
was it set? Yeah. So his probably.
Yeah.
They
So
multiple
it's like,
dentists
dude,
there, I'm sure. Right?
Yeah, it's the beginning of the day. You're gonna get called in. It's gonna be quick. So maybe don't get into a video. what Michael Bay movie are you watching where you're like, I need both earbuds in. I need to be immersed into this video that I'm about to watch. Put one earbud in. It's great. This isn't 1993. You don't have headphones that go over your head like what I'm wearing where you have to have both earpieces in. Have one earbud in. You can still engage in this video. But dude, this dude literally looked like other than having a blanket across his lap and eating popcorn, this dude looked like he was going to be waiting for 6 hours watching this, like so engaged into his phone. And I felt so bad for this woman because I bet she's like, it's fucking Friday, dude. I don't want to deal with this. Like a person had to go into a waiting room and say the same name 3 times for a waiting room with 2 people in it. I felt so
After
bad
the second
for her.
one, I would have been like, no, fuck him. He has to come back up, and then I'm going to say reschedule. I'm going to say we called your name, and that's it. I would have
the same thing. I'm like, I would have not taken him. I'd have been like, fuck this. I'm not doing this.
Oh, your appointment was at 8 o'clock, and we did call your name twice, so you're going to have to reschedule.
And I'll tell you something.
And we are going to need your.
I'll tell you something else about Jonathan and the type of guy Jonathan is. Out of the cars in the parking lot. So this parking lot's very, very particular. You enter, so it's a corner lot, okay? You're going to have to stick with me. I'm going to try to paint you a picture of it. It's a corner lot where this dentist office is. So you enter, their parking lot driveway is one way. You enter on the side road, and then you take an L shape around the building and then exit the other side. So as it's a one-way parking lot, they have angled spots. Right? So that you pull in easy and then everyone's backing out to pull forward and continue down the one way. Jonathan's car somehow is backed into one of these angled spots. And I'm like, what did you think you achieved here? I go, it had to have been so difficult to maneuver your car to back into one of these spots. And now you're royally screwed if other people start parking next to you because you're not going to be able to make this 120-degree right turn out of your spot to go the one way in this parking lot. I'm like, Jonathan,
did he go in the wrong way? He must have went in the wrong way. I don't know.
I hope. I don't know, but that car wasn't there when I walked in.
How did he back in?
So Jonathan,
almost reverse angled parking. Yeah.
Dude, Jonathan is. I don't know who Jonathan is. I still don't know who he is. We never crossed paths again. But fuck, if I ever see this dude again. Oh, I'm going to smack the phone out of his hand. I'm going to take one of his earbuds, only one, and I'm going to throw it across the room. And then I'm going to hand him a diagram on how to park a car. Because Jonathan just rubs me the... And see, and all of these Jonathan things, so many listeners, if they were listening, would be like, Jeff, you just need to calm down. It's not that big of a deal.
Well, here's where I think... Because when I go get my laundry or go fold it from the dryer, I always need to listen because it takes 5 minutes to fold. Because when I get stuff out of the dryer, I fold it immediately and put it into my hamper, whatever, versus stuffing it into a hamper, wrinkling it, and then putting it somewhere else to fold it. And I always make sure I get a dryer that's not next to somebody else's, so that I'm not in somebody's space. But I have I just one earbud in so that I can listen to the public. I think...
Social cues.
You're being a derelict to society if you wear both your headphones in public. When you go out in society into a public place, there's a social contract you have that you have to be aware of or acknowledge other human beings. Sorry, it's part of it. And I understand anxieties, things like that. That's why you can have the one earbud in, especially for the dentist. Yeah. Maybe this dude's scared, whatever's happening.
One earbud all day. Go nuts.
You can't pretend that you're not in a society with other human beings. It just doesn't work that way. It would be nice, but that's not the world or the universe that we live in, unfortunately. I mean, if you want to, you can stay at home and do your own dental work. Or, but you've chosen the services of a professional.
But it's also you checked in. They said, go sit down and we'll call you. And so your last instruction was, there will be an audio cue for when your next move comes up. And he goes, perfect. smashes earbuds in his ears. Dude, you just took out the factor of audio cue. Like, you are voluntarily being like, audio cue, no problem. I'm gonna plug my ears with my fingers and just start humming loudly. Like, you're right though.
Or you have to, if you're going to do that, if you're going to put yourself in a position where you can't hear, because obviously, like, there's deaf people in the world, and what do? They have to use their other senses and like acutely have their head on a swivel, things like that, for safety reasons, for public communications reasons. So if you're going to take away one of your senses, then you have to use the other. So if you're going to go double earbuds, then you got to be every few seconds, you got to be looking up, see what's going on in the world. Instead of like just totally sinking into whatever. I don't understand. It's like, dude, I've been needing to watch this video for days, and I gotta watch it full volume right now. It's fuck society, basically.
Yep, it's the same people that like keep talking on the phone when they're like it's their turn with the cashier. I'm like, I want to go over and press end call so bad and be like, stop that. I don't care how important your conversation is, then don't get in line yet. If you're not sure that you'll be off in time, or you just straight up put your phone down and the other person on the call goes, oh, I wonder where they went, or something like that. But like, stop. You're not multitasking. We aren't. People think multitasking is such a thing. It's broad stroked multitasking. Like, right? It's like, oh, multitasking should be like, okay, I'm trying to organize my day because I'm going to, go grocery shopping. But while I'm out, I'll also go to the gym or something like that. Like, that's the multitasking you're supposed to do. You can't have a phone call and do a checkout at the same time. Stop it. You think it's working. It's not. Everyone hates you. You're frustrating the person who's working, who can't react to you. That's what I always hate. You're crippling this cashier. Like, because they're working, they have to act a certain way. They have to be courteous. They have to do, like, they can't tell you, hey, fuck face, get off your fucking phone and make this transaction, or else I'm going to push your shit on the ground. Because as a cashier, I would love to, as a person who works with other people and as a obviously very hyped up on how society should operate, I would love a cashier to be like, no, I'm not fucking doing this. You want this Twix? You're going to have to get off that fucking phone call, or else I'm not ringing this up. Like,
or go through the self-checkout.
People have to worry about the jobs.
Also, you're missing out.
Don't get me started on self-checkout.
Well, people are missing out. Like, it's, one of the best experiences you can have in a life now is just a random, like, pleasant experience at a store or with a cashier
with a stranger,
or something, and you can get something out of it. Yeah, and you really can. And people, I understand people's anxieties about it, or especially coming in the post-COVID world where I think a lot of things have changed, especially for younger people that missed out on like a whole year of socialization or more of that. But it's one of the most rewarding parts of a day that is so unassuming because you never plan it or predict it. But if you just have, because I think so many people go into an experience and assume that it's going to be the worst, or that somebody's going to be angry, or that it's going to go negatively. But when in most cases, it's really pleasant and positive, and you can just be like, hey, appreciate, oh, that's cool, whatever. Just some generic, innocuous conversation, and you're like, that was a good human experience. Like, this is maybe what life's about sometimes, is having just human experiences, exchanges between people. Again, the single-serving friendships, or maybe if it's a cash register thing, like people you've seen before. But then I always feel like situations like that I wasn't expecting, I'm like, I think about it, and it sticks with me, and it makes me feel good. That's a weird sentence to say. Sometimes I feel good with things like that, and like you miss out. And I think, like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how to solve it, but outside to say, like, whoever's listening, you two types of people, you two people,
right?
Just give into it. Just feel it. Be in the moment. Be present. That kind of stuff. And most of the time, it'll be worth it and rewarding, I think. So
yeah. Tell that to the lady at Starbucks yesterday too, because she was I had to back clean up, because I was picking up a drink, and the lady in front of me clearly did something to the cashier because the cashier went like, gave her the like, okay, as she was leaving. She's like, all right, have a great day. And I'm like, oh, okay. So I was extra polite,
Yeah.
tried to seem like not enthusiastic, but just like upbeat. Girl was reciprocating it. So I'm like, all right, cool. I probably cleaned up this lady's mess of like, oh, that lady was a miserable turd. But at least this guy was pleasant. So then the lady's waiting for her, or I'm waiting for my drink, and the lady gets her drink. And I just hear her mumbling to the girl who made the drink. And the girl's like, oh, okay, would you like me to remake it? Like, pleasant as pleasant could be. The girl did not seem like she was being like put out of sorts. She's like, okay, no problem. Well, I'm sorry about that. Would you like me to remake it? And the lady's like, and the girl's like, or I could add more like sweetener to it, or I could add more milk to it. Like, I'm not sure, because like I think the lady was giving a vague description of like, this isn't right, and not elaborating on anything, just like this isn't right. And the girl's like, would you like me to remake? Girl's throwing option after option after, and it's just this old lady keeps staring at her drink, pissed off at the world, and the girl's like, and this girl then, she's like, Jeff, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yep, thanks so much. Have a great day. And she's like, yeah, you too. And I'm like, see, now she's not feeling in a great mood because this old turd is just, and again, it has nothing to do with her age, but this is all I remember about the lady is that she was older. And it's just like, no matter how bad the drink turned out, if you can't describe what you need, then you're the problem. B, if your Starbucks drink is wrong, take a step back before you act like the entire world is fucking crumbling around you. Like, it doesn't matter. I know everyone should get the order they order. I'm not saying that, but you have to really, on the whole universe concept of your life and your day, it's early in the day, you can't be like, my Starbucks drink wasn't exactly how I like it, and everything because of that just fucking fell apart. Like, stop, ma'am. Like, you can't be this bothered by your Starbucks drink not being right. You can't be. It's unhealthy that's how your brain works.
It's the joys of late stage capitalism. Just be angry at everything, every little every little order, dude. Look at us, just a couple nice guys who don't get angry at anything, and
bullshit.
Real positive. We just
No,
we're the czars of public interaction. That's what we should be.
People make me more angry than anything else in the world. Honestly, it's people being rude to other people and not being considerate of other people is the biggest frustration in my entire life.
It's tough.
That
it's tough
and
to
everything
see.
else. Yeah.
Big news for your boy
Big news
this week.
Big news.
Big news. Friday, 11 a.m., minutes before I go in to take notes in a focus group. One of those dealios.
Yeah.
Get my boss shows up at the store. So she doesn't usually work she works at like the division office. But I walk in there and I go to the office and I do the old like that little joke, just a little, like kind of fun little poke. She's like, why does everybody treat me like the Grim Reaper? It's like, what are you here to do?
You fire people. Yeah.
Yeah. So Matt, once again, you are going to be transferred to another store. So this will be the third store in my 6 months.
Wow.
I've been at one store for 3 months, another one for 3 months. She said, but this time,
Okay.
it will be in Auburn. I was like, wow, I don't know how to take that. It's crazy, really crazy news.
Whoa.
I'm back in the burn, and I don't know how to. I'm still kind of like coming to grips with it because I do genuinely like the store that I'm at right now. I think it's really well run, has a good culture, and it just sucks. Like, this is what was crazy about it. 15 minutes before I talked to my boss, I had just walked around the store, and I had the thought of like, wow, things are like coming together. Like, it's been a few months, and like it's nice that I like finally like know a lot of the people. I think they know me. Like I'm building rapport, and like this is where you want to get for this role because I think it's really important to be able to have that,
Sure.
relationships with people, and it just takes time, especially with a bunch of new people. And right around 3 months at the last store, that's what I was feeling. And then I was like, oh, I better not say that. I'm gonna jinx it. I'm gonna jinx myself. Not 15 minutes later, I get transferred. It was fucking crazy. I literally jinxed myself. I don't know if I ever said I'm gonna jinx myself, and then it really happened. Usually you just say that. It's fun and it's tongue in cheek to say that, but I literally jinxed myself about it. But yeah, I'm kind of sad to be leaving that store. It's just the good thing about the Auburn store is I know most of the people there, but it's its own animal. Auburn's it's an island, and it's a gossipy town, and so that'll just be dealing more with that kind of thing, I guess.
Let me ask you this. So the biggest thing that came to mind is the job that you have. Let me ask you this. You're like a support system for employees. Does that include management or just non-leadership people?
No, it includes management too.
Okay. So let me ask you
So
this.
I mean, we operate
So
as a
this
third
dynamic,
party. We're not part of store leadership.
this,
Yeah.
yeah, this dynamic with you knowing people to the level that you know them in Auburn, having been past management, but also some people that you know on a even minor, acquaintance in personal level because you are in the town that you grew up in. Does that seem like a positive for your job? Or not so much a negative, but something that could be more of a challenge in your type of job?
That's the question. That's what I'm kind of wrestling with because I always knew I would come back to Auburn at some point because I live there and like it's 30 minutes from the closest other Wegmans in the division.
Right.
And so it's an island and it has its own culture. And I thought it would be like a couple years before I would go back, just so there's like enough space between
Sure.
my previous role and then have some more people there, new people. But I probably know like 70% of the people that are still there, 80%,
Yeah.
something like that. So that's going to be the challenge is like coming back in a new role. And so people, I'm already getting texts like people are finding out that they're excited that I'm coming back. But I'm gonna have like difficult conversations with people. Like my role will be different, so that's the part I don't know. I'm not sure about. Plus, my mom works there, and she's not quiet. So she actually the other HR person is gonna have to deal with her and her complaints about people. Um, but it's gonna be hard to be totally like segmented from what's going on in that world. And like
Yeah.
some relationships I had with people in a certain way, and now it's like before we were buddy buddy. If we were like kind of the same role in a way, or we were both like department manager things, and now like there might be conversations that I have to have about you doing your job better, or like communicating to your employees differently, or like giving feedback about certain things, and it's just a different role. And then I'm probably, I won't be everybody's favorite person anymore. That's kind of the thing, Some days I will be, and some days I won't be. So
Yeah, I
it's
mean,
interesting.
it's always
But
tough
Auburn, I'm
because
like, what's that?
I was gonna say is like you can I'm pretty sure, fairly confident that you would be able to put a barrier in between a work and personal concept, but a lot of people can't. And so even if you can, it doesn't matter if the other person can't. And so that's always gonna be the tough thing to deal with when you're in HR, is I'm sure is be like, listen, man, like this has no reflect of you on a person as me on a person. Like this is just the transactional part. But especially in your job where it's like, well, my job is to not be entirely transactional and to be more, human resource, the human part of it. So, yeah, I can understand that some
So
people,
it'll be interesting.
I think you have to accept that just like you can't be perfect in anything else, you're going to have to accept that some people literally won't take it right. And that there's nothing that you'll be able to do about it. I think if you accept that that's going to happen every once in a while, that'll help put you at ease to understand that it's like, no matter what I do, some people will not be able to handle this.
Yeah. And and the other part, I mean, it's also just hard to keep moving, like being set up, and then like just the act of like having to
Yeah,
learn new
Jesus.
stuff again, or just like having to, you know how it go, like technical stuff. Even like now, I have to have Workday reassociated or my Outlook, changed to certain things, or it's all this
Yeah.
fucking shit, and it's like my new phone, a new email, it's all this. I mean, the email's the same, but it's like just new contact in general, or just removing certain emails from certain folders, moving them to a different thing so I can have different access. I mean, it's a whole thing. It's going to take whatever a couple weeks to even do that, and then it's like, God, it's so tiring and exhausting to start over again, like 3 times, actually 4 times, because I started at the DO in this whole journey just a month there. So
Yeah.
this is my third move in 7 months. It's just like, I can't keep doing this. This is just too much. The good thing, I mean, the good part is the commute is now 3 minutes.
Right.
And that's epic. I mean, I bought myself an extra hour a day, which is really going to lend itself. Now I'm definitely going to go to the gym more for sure. I'm definitely not going to sleep in
The
later.
best part is, I wish it was like right after the snow finished, then they transferred you back. You're like, oh,
It
good.
almost
So I
is.
got to spend a
know.
winter commuting, and that's it. Thanks.
I know they wait till the spring shows up, and then yeah, it was good though. I mean, I'm glad I got the commuting, the driving experience.
Hey
There
man,
is
it
also-
forced you. It forced you into it.
And there's a certain element of it is nice to get out of Auburn for the day and go somewhere else and go to a store where I don't know anybody. Even the customers coming in when I'm walking around, they don't know who I am either. And now I'm going back to a place where everybody's going to know who I am again. And then it's like, oh, like even like Friday night when I went in to talk
I
to my
haven't
mom.
seen you in a while.
I saw one, yeah, Nick W, and Bon Jovi, one Mr. Bon Jovi.
Oh,
And he said, "Hey," he's like, "You still work here?" And I was like, "Well, I'm coming back." So I was like, "It's already happening. It's gonna start." And I'd be like, "I'm sure there's people. Like, oh, I thought you just got fired or something. I didn't know." Yeah, it's like, I don't know.
Yeah, you're like
but it is-
super great.
Yeah, cool. We haven't seen you in a while. Yeah, that's by design. So I don't know. It is nice to have that escape. Now I'll have to be more intentional about like getting out of town and going to places and escaping Auburn again. But I don't know. I'm excited. I'm excited for the commute, and I think I can be helpful. I'm going to learn a lot of stuff there because Auburn has a particular charm that involves a more hands-on HR approach. I'll just leave it at that. But that's what's gonna happen. So, but yeah, big moves.
Kill.
And that'll be that.
Right. That's pretty neat.
Yeah.
I'm working the same job. No one came up to
Good,
me
yeah.
and told me I'm
Your commute is
transferring.
still a tight 0 minutes.
0. That's okay.
Someday
I
will be
often reminisce
remote
about the office time and how office things worked and operated and felt very differently. Definitely advantages to working at home. Not going to act like there aren't, but there's definitely disadvantages.
Yeah, you definitely have to go out of your way to be public. Like go to the dentist, go to Starbucks, have all these. That's
so
how you gotta
easy
find
to
your
not.
joy, going out into public.
It's so easy to not. That's what like a lot of people don't realize as a remote worker. It's really easy not doing the thing. Like we've talked about that before. It's really easy to default to not doing something.
Yeah, I know. It's really easy to turn into a sweatpants worker, not even put on outside clothes.
That I
ever.
won't do. That I'm glad.
I couldn't either.
That,
I couldn't either.
I'm
I'd have to
glad that
pretend at
I
least,
desperately need to shower every morning. Like I hate my pre-shower life. Like it's awful. That's why going to the gym has been good because I've been going in the morning. It gets me out of the door first thing, and I can get it done, come back, shower, and then be ready for work. But like, yeah, I don't know how some people are like, yeah, I rolled out of bed and, I did it more when I was an adjuster, but that's a bad road to go down. Is you gotta clean yourself, shower and everything, like have some coffee, have breakfast, and then start working. Like you gotta try to make that move. So I've gotten pretty good on autopilot on that front.
All right.
All right, well, that's good.
Keep
That's
it at
We're
an hour.
right at that
Let's
mark.
keep it at
Yeah.
a tight hour.
Yeah.
We said all the things. We've done all the things, and that'll do. That'll do, pig. Adios.
Catches what